There we go. Welcome to another edition, another program whereby we analyze exam papers and, of course, to prepare the candidates, the A-level students doing Pearson and Excel International Advanced Level exams for English. So we've had a series of discussions, we've had a series of analysis whereby we look and we advise each other on the best practices on how to go about these papers. So today, from Ultimate School of English, we want to look at Unit 3, which is called Crafting Language. So basically, when you look at that paper, like you're seeing something here, right? There is called writing. So basically, this is a writing paper. Now, at this junction, at this stage, I guess you're treated like, someone who is now knowledgeable enough, a student or a candidate who is now well versed in matters of English. So here you are supposed to craft, correct? You're supposed to create, right? You're supposed to compose, right? You're supposed to make. So you craft a text. Remember, in Unit 1, you are given texts. You already made texts that had already been crafted by someone else. And then in Unit 1, that is, the paper in Unit 1, you made texts, and then, of course, you are to analyze those texts based on the language frameworks and also the contextual factors. The Unit 1 paper, context and identity. So you are to look at the contextual factors and also how identities of persons are created through particular use of language. Now, in Unit 3, you are given resources. Resources here, I mean that, like data, reference material, where you refer to, like you are given texts. And then from those texts, of course, you'll be told to craft them and change them into a different genre that you'll be given. So what do I want to say and what do I want to tell you? I want to tell you this, that in Unit 3, you as a candidate, you are given like prompts, the prompters. You are given like the texts, whereby from those texts you read and then you are supposed to write your own, write an article. You can write a report, or you can write a newspaper article. So you can write a website article. You can be told to directed to do a writing. So basically, this paper is also, I could also call it a directed writing. So you are directed. You will be directed to write on a particular genre, and then after you've written, then you'll be told to help us evaluate your own language. Tell us why you wrote, how you wrote, and what you wrote. Right? So the total mark for this paper is 50, and of course, the weight of the paper, as you can see, that is section A, right? Section A, this will give you 20 marks, and then of course the 30 marks you will actually get it in your evaluation and analysis of what you've written. Now look at the instructions in section A. So it's a read text A, B, and C in the source booklets before answering question 1. So you'll have the source booklets. You'll have the source booklets that will have the text. And then of course, this is what you're supposed to do. So using the text in the source booklet, write a fashion blog. So what's the genre here? The genre here is a fashion blog. So there are key words and key phrases that you as a candidate you must be able to be alive to, like you must focus on. So this is a fashion blog. So what you ask yourself, what are the convention of a blog? right? This is not a political blog. It's not an environmental blog. It's a fashion blog. But of course, the bottom line is a blog. So how do you go about a blog writing, right? So this, you have to conform to the rubrics and conventions and the rules that govern fashion, so that whenever someone is seeing what you have written, he or she will be seeing a blog, will not be seeing a letter to a friend or a letter to an executive officer in a company. He's seeing a blog. So write a fashion blog about the benefits of sustainable fashion, right? Oh, fine. Then of course here you can see something here written. This is a model auxiliary verb of imperativeness. You must use the information in the source booklet to create your file. So you must. So don't just walk in here and you are using your own information. By and large, you're using your own information. Must, of course, even as if you include your own information. But you see, the directive here is that you must use the information in the source booklet to create your form. So here, the style whereby you paraphrase ideas, you paraphrase the source materials to fit into what you're supposed to do comes into play. So you must use the information in the source booklet. So please make sure that you harness, you harvest, you generate ideas from the source materials as you actually create this new genre of a fashion blog that you've been told to do. Of course, you are now told you may include additional material drawn for your own knowledge and experience. Not bad. So, because we also need you to give us your own perspective. But of course, the bottom line here, you must use the information from the source material. And of course, you may include, not a must, but you may include additional material from drawn for your own knowledge and experience. Then, of course, because in context and identity, you'll draw your audience, you'll draw audience from the material you've been given, but here you are supposed to give us your audience, like, okay, who is your target audience, right? Who is your primary audience? Who is your secondary audience? Who is your tertiary audience? Who is your audience? Like, whom are you targeting as far as this information is concerned? Then, of course, you must also give us the purpose. Why are you writing? Are you writing to informers? Are you writing to retainers? All right? Are you writing to advisors? You get it? So give us the purpose and of course the context. Like the context, that is the context within. So it should rotate and gravitate around fashion. It should be, so the context should be gravitate around that. So you see there is a table agreed here. So choose your own audience and complete the grid below. So the genre is always like cast on stone. Like this is what you're given. Yeah, you're given by the exam body. You're given by the examiner. The fashion blog. So here is where you are tied up. Like yes, you must know. As I said, you must know. I mean, what is entailed in writing a fashion. So you must know what a fashion, sorry, a blog, not a fashion. You must know what entails in writing a blog. So how is the blog structured? Yeah, how is the blog structured? You see, so you must know that. So and then of course we have the audience. The audience, I say, you create, you can give us your own audience. Like maybe you can say maybe because it's a blog, then it means it's an online thing, it's a website. You could also have followers. So you could say maybe audience, followers or readers of your blog, fashion blog. You can also say maybe audience, people who are interested in fashion, and maybe your fans, something like that. Purpose, maybe to inform, to educate, to entertain, and etc. Context is the context of fashion industry, its development, maybe challenges, whatever. But of course, we must draw this from the source material that we will get. You get it? So that is as far as what question one is concerned. So question one, that is section A. You create. Now you create. Here you are not. The only material you are given here are what we call the prompts. Those texts they just give you, and then of course it's like the text actually provide ideas and materials for you to create your own stuff. Yeah. And then after that, after you create it, now you have to create it and create it nicely, because now the danger is we will have some students or candidates who, because they've been told to create, they want the easiest way. So easiest way means maybe you may just create a text that is not, doesn't go deep, a text that you see will not offer sufficient materials for your analysis. So that is something that you must avoid. So avoid uh, I mean playing easy. So just do your best, create a text that will give you enough material, enough ideas for analysis as far as the contextual factors and language frameworks is actually concerned, right? So it is good because this is where you are going to draw your ideas for analysis. So it must be something that is well researched, well done, well thought out, you see, and well presented. So this, if you did this well, and of course remember, as we're going to see, remember to do this in standard English. Standard English, because the language under focus is English. So they want to see, are you able to create whatever you are creating in standard English. So by and large, even if you may deviate and depart and talk about some other stuff altogether in maybe a foreign language which you may inject here and then, but by and large, make sure you use standard English, properly punctuated, and of course, I don't want to go deeper at this point, but the syntax must also be good. Paragraphing must also be appropriate. Yeah, so all the desires and the requirements of a good text must be reflected in this actually section. So you create that and make sure, as I said, standard English is mandatory because the examiners will be looking at that. Just a quick flip over to that is section B, and what it actually requires. After, yes, you are now done. You are now done with section A. Now section B says what? And remember, section B carries the lion's share of the marks. That is 30 marks, right? And here is where now the rubber meets the road, right? So write a commentary on your new text. In your commentary, you should analyze and evaluate the language choices you have made. Show how you have reshaped the source material to meet the new genre, audience, and purpose. Comment on how contextual factors have influenced your language choices. You should support your analysis with evidence. Yeah. So where do you get the evidence? Yeah. The evidence is drawn from your text that you've created, and of course the original materials. Because here you say write a comment on your new text. We have moved from the original text, which there are always like three areas: text A, B, and C. And of course, in this text, sometimes we can have the subtext. Like in text A, you can have text A, but there's maybe portion 1 and portion 2. But so far, there are 3, unless the examiner thinks otherwise. So you draw ideas from how you know there's the original text that you got. Maybe it was just a speech, maybe it was just a report, but now you're supposed to harness that and create a blog. Yeah, so we are creating a blog. So you say we're supposed to do a commentary. This is like you analyze it now. So in your commentary, analyze and evaluate the language choices you have made. So tell us, for example, you have used lexis specific to fashion. Yeah, you've mentioned some fashion gurus, you've mentioned some fashion industries, and yeah. So why did you use that? Correct. In terms of your audience, guys, maybe you've moved to you have moved to some jargon related to fashion. You are using maybe low frequency lexis, high frequency lexis. Why are you doing that, right? And show how you have reshaped the source menu to meet the new genre, audience, and purpose. So the old genre, what was it talking about? And the new genre, what is it talking about, and whom is it targeting? Yes, and the purpose. What is the purpose of text A vis-a-vis your new text? What is the purpose of text B in the older text vis-a-vis your new text, right? And then comment contextual factors. Yes, the context very important, because when you are communicating, guys, the context, like this mode of communication, the field that you are talking about, the purpose, the audience, all the discourse and all that, they actually influence your language choice. They actually influence your language choice. If I'm writing to experts, right, my level of language is a context, the context of talking to experts. So if I'm talking to experts, definitely, my language will not be pedestrian, right? It will involve a lot of technical terms and all that. But if I'm talking to a general audience and I want to converge with them, then of course my language will come down to that level of convergence without losing without losing my audience, and without also losing my purpose. Because why? Because I'm not talking. I'll not be using language maybe to uh, just to confuse them or to bombard them with things that they don't understand. But I'll try as much as possible for communication to take place. But I'll be guided by the context, right? Yeah. So all this must be analyzed. So analyze and evaluate the language choices you have made. Yes. Show how you have reshaped the source material to meet the new genre, audience, and purpose. Comment on how contextual factors have influenced your language choices. Now, basically, in all these areas, as I said, please go back to your Unit 1, the knowledge of your Unit 1, that is context identity, whereby we broke down on analysis in terms of contextual factors, in terms of the language frameworks. My syntax is, you can see in my new text, my syntax is loose, or I have got complex syntax, because I'm trying to address this blend of audience. Um, in terms of lexics and semantics, I've used this, that. In terms of pragmatics, I've employed this and that. Discourse-wise, you can see my text is this, as opposed to the original text, which looks like this, like that, like that. Basically, if you are having an issue with this, what we call Unit 3, that is crafting language. As I said, you go back to Unit 1 and just get to the rubrics, the basics. Go to what is the, like here, we are basically answering questions like, what is the mode of the text? What's the field that you are doing? Your audience, of course, you've given us there, but of course, you'll have to expound. You'll have given us your audience and the purpose and whatever in the grid. But of course, as you continue analyzing, you'll also go deeper and tell us more, and tell us more and more and more about all this, right? Of course, here, you don't just arrive at 30 marks by abracadabra. It's not magic here. You must earn this. So, sorry, the lexis, the choices of words, the choice of vocabulary that you have used here. Tell us why you have used them, and how did they depart from the original text, and the meaning that they actually carry. And that's the semantics. Semantics goes with meaning. So the choice of words that you've actually decided to use, and also the related semantics, the meaning that they actually carry. Yeah. Talk to us about the syntactical structures. Yeah. The acidentic and sedentic structures, probably if you have used that. The complex and maybe loose structures, maybe that you could have used. So syntax go with grammar. So now your grammar and syntax conform to standard English, because why? Largely and by and large, you are trying to communicate to maybe English speakers. Your audience is basically maybe people who understand English. Therefore, that's why you have actually decided and elected to use standard English. So talk to us, tell us about the standard English. Of course, these are things that you actually analyze in Unit 1, and of course, coming to Unit 2, where we are looking at language and transition, you also looked at this thing. So I would say that this is just, what do I say, an amalgamation. Yes, yeah, this is just an amalgamation, which is an easier word. Yeah, this is just like a culmination, like unit 1 and unit 2. Now the ideas you gathered in unit 1, of course unit 2, you are now using that, my friend, to, as an architect, as a creator, yeah, of the content. And the content that you have created, you try to tell us why. It's like you're put on spot, tell us, okay, you've written this, what made you write like this? Yes, so tell us why you decided to depart from the way the other text was created and you created this. How is it new? You know, if the other text was a speech, you see, or a report and a blog. See, a blog could have, different subsections. You could have bullet points. You could have places where they have been highlighted, caps, words written in caps, etc, etc. So those are some of the things that you will actually try to address. Um, the this the discourse of the text, like you break it, like in my introduction, the body, the conclusion, you help us analyze that, right? Yeah, so if we just actually if we actually look at let's say the, what do you call it,